Welcome to our May meeting. It's May, right? It is May. Welcome to our May meeting. Whiskey Girl Saloon, everybody. I like this venue. What do you guys think of this venue? You like Whiskey Girl? Yeah, I think this may be becoming one of my favorite venues in Fort Worth, and it's not just because it's cool, it's because they're really cool with us. So please take very good care of Whiskey Girl because they are very normal, and I want to keep them around so we can keep hanging out here. So thank you one more time to Whiskey Girl. So I like to start every meeting off by talking about people who do great jobs for DFW NORML. You know, there's consistently the same people that like to work a lot for us, but then out of nowhere, people who may either be new or have been around for a while do something extraordinarily awesome for us. And today, we're not going to just recognize one of those volunteers, but a group of those volunteers. And the person who's going to talk about that is your Deputy Director, William Jenkins. Will?
Howdy. Alright, so I joined this organization about 2.5 years ago with a friend of mine because of the internet, fucking awesome internet. And one of the first people I was put in contact with was a guy that was in a band. And I really needed some help because we didn't have any events at all for DFW NORML. There wasn't one on a calendar for an entire year. And this guy reached out and he said, you know what, I may be able to help you out. I'm in this band, I know a lot of other people, I've been in the music industry for a while, let me help you. And I said, all right. And since then, now we have all these incredible music plugs that you guys come out and see, you know, at least once a month, if not more than that. And today we want to recognize our Cannabis All-Stars as Bum Lucky. Come on up. Come on up. John Hogue is the name I was talking about. Right here. Yeah.
I'll let Michael say a couple of words. I don't talk in front of people.
You just did.
All right. I was not prepared for a speech, but I don't know, man. I've been playing shows for NORML for 10 years now, I guess. I've played 100,000 people marches in Tucson, Arizona, in New Mexico, in San Diego, and San Francisco, where NORML has really made a big difference and made things legal. So it's really cool to be here now and see things being promoted and growing and doing good. So we love being a part of it. We thank all you guys for supporting what we believe in. Anyways, we're Bum Lucky. Look me up online if you haven't heard of us.
One more time for Bum Lucky. And if anybody was out at our Global Marijuana March this year, one of the main reasons that we had some awesome music the whole time is because this band right here, Bum Lucky, stepped up and filled a slot for some people that a little miscommunication happened, and they played 2 sets for us off the top. So thank them, and give it back to Sean. Thanks, guys.
So how many of you guys have heard about the Texas Regional NORML Conference? Pretty sweet. It's going to be a different kind of drug policy event, at least in terms of the ones that I've been to. I don't know if you guys have ever been to one, but they're usually really boring. And that's exactly what we're going to fix with ours. We're going to make it a lot more fun, interactive. It's still going to be very informative. And it's just going to be, to me, a better use of people's time and money. And I feel like a lot of that has to do with the awesome speakers that we've got. And so, how many of you guys know who Judge Jim Gray is? So, Judge Jim Gray is one of the people that inspired me to be doing what I'm doing right now. Him, along with Keith Stropp, founder of NORML, will be speaking at our conference. We're going to have a number of different speakers. We've got a pair of people we're flying in from California, from Tinctura, and they're going to talk about growing high-quality medicine as well as creating concentrates. So that's going to be interesting. We've got Derek Cross, who I think is here. Derek, are you here? Stand up if you're here, Derek. Oh, okay, Derek Cross from Hemp Healthy today. He's going to be talking about cooking with hemp, which is going to be delicious, I think. we're flying in once again. I don't know if he is for you, but he is for me. A cannabis hero, Radical Russ Belville, is going to be coming back to Texas. And he will be not only kind of moderating our conference, but he'll be doing a couple of different workshops. He's going to have a talk where he's going to tell you how to debate for marijuana very effectively and just cut through the bullshit, you know, just with the facts, and sort of a level of kind of charm and fun that I have noticed that he's developed, at least through his activism, through his radio podcast and stuff that he does. And so we have over a dozen speakers. I'm not even really sure what the count is right now, but we've got these posters all around that are done by a very talented artist named Matthew Warlick. Is Matthew here? Maybe Matthew is here? Maybe not, maybe. Well, so Matthew Warlick did this awesome illustration for us because what I wanted more than anything was something that showed the Texas movement as something that was strong. And to me as a Texan, when I think of something strong, naturally I think of a Longhorn. I think of something that you really got to work to tame that beast. And that's kind of how Prohibition is too. You know, we're having to work to tame this thing because it's, you know, it's on the decline. We already know that it's losing. It's a matter of our efforts, how long Texas takes before it gets medical marijuana or it gets legalization. So this conference, we have this image of this Longhorn that is medicating with a little blunt right there, and he's zen-like because of this plant. How many of you sometimes feel zen-like because of marijuana? Yeah, me too. And so with this image, we really hopes to appeal to people who are like, yeah, I guess I don't really remember the last time I saw a mellow Longhorn. And here we are. We've got this amazing comic book artist who has contributed his flavor of activism to our conference by creating a piece of art for us. Just like this one. This piece of art was created for us. I'm not even entirely sure by who it's signed, but I love it. Because I'm a creative person, but I struggle to call myself an artist because I can't draw. But every time I see something like this, I'm like, yes, this movement is inspiring other people to do things, which is what it did for me, and which is what I hope it's doing for you guys. And this conference is really about us. It is about the people in Texas who say, enough about Prohibition, I'm ready for a change. We're gonna spend an entire weekend talking about it, we're gonna party for it, we're gonna network, and we're gonna come out a stronger Texas movement after this conference. And the state of Texas is gonna realize that Prohibition is ending here in Texas. And that's because of our efforts. And so give yourself a hand. I'd really like it if you guys were able to make it out for the conference. It is a weekend event, but we have day passes available. So you could only come for one day, maybe on Saturday, and see Keith Strop and Judge Jim Gray speak. That's going to be cool. Judge Jim Gray hasn't been in Texas in a while, and he's a hell of a speaker if you've never seen him. And so come out and maybe, I don't know, tell your friends about it. Because it's going to be a fun weekend where we talk about changing the laws about marijuana, and we're really going to be able to make some progress with our people and with our partying and just by being together and being empowered here at the Texas Regional NORML Conference. And so even if you can't come, you can still help us because we have 10,000 flyers. Actually, scratch that. We've got about 5,000 flyers left that we need to get out into the Metroplex between now and the conference. And so we've got these nifty little posters made. If you know a place where you can take a poster and hang it up and they'd be cool with it, come by and get one from us because the more people that support this, the better. But better yet, if you can take a small little stack of flyers, or hell, even a big stack of flyers, and go somewhere busy like Lola's tonight, or I don't know, anywhere that you like to go, and maybe as you're there hanging out, having a drink, listening to music, you tell some people, hey, what do you think about marijuana? You think it should be legal? Or maybe you should know about DFW NORML. This is what we're doing next. And it's really that easy, and that's how we grow. And that's why probably a lot of you guys here. Because somebody contacted you from DFW NORML and kind of maybe brought you into the family in some way. And that's what it's all about, guys, is it's a family. I don't know about you, I'm a parent myself, and I don't want my son to grow up in a world where a plant that doesn't hurt you can land you in jail. And so, So if you feel similarly, then I really, really hope not only that you get involved with DFW NORML beyond just coming to a meeting or supporting through coming to a live music event or anything else, contribute what it is that is you to the movement, because that's what it's going to take. You are going to reach those 10 or 20 or 100 or 1,000 people that me couldn't reach, or that they couldn't reach. And so it's going to take you, it's going to take us all. So thank you for being here. This is a good first step, but I expect a lot more from all of you.
Yes, the floodgates are open with these awesome sponsors, so when you guys come out, make sure, support these sponsors that support us. I mean, it's important that we reciprocate that, because these guys, it's just great to see that the floodgates are open like this, and they're so willing to be a participant, and they're not trying to be silent partners. They want to be out there and be blatant and just say, hey, we'll support NORML. And that's just awesome. So at the conference, you're going to see some vendors when you guys go out there. One of them is here, Cannabis Energy Drink. We'll have a booth out there. So if you guys are not familiar with Cannabis Energy Drink, say hello. Keith Light with Cannabis Energy Drink over here is one of the sponsors of the conference. Thank you, Keith. And then we have some awesome smoke shops from the Metroplex: Labyrinth Smoke Shop, Habit Smoke Shop, Filter Smoke Shop, and Hempy's Emporium in Arlington. All these smoke shops will have booths there to support the conference, so make sure you guys go and support the businesses, not just at the conference, but also when you guys are out just shopping around. Besides that, we also have other, nonprofit organizations going to have booths there. Cash High Foundation, make sure you go by the booth when they're there. Cash High, CJ's over here, make sure you guys support the Cash High Foundation. We're going to have some press coverage other than Radical Russ Belville. We'll also have 420 Radio, and also Deep Ellen on Air, who's going to be doing the coverage for us and support us, and basically promote the conference for us. So we're going to get full support from them all over the media, which is awesome. We appreciate that. And also for 420 Times and HailMaryJane.com as well. So you go to their website, you'll see our conference ad on there, so make sure you go and support that. So make sure you go to the website.
Of course, we've talked about legislation and stuff that we're trying to pass and things like that, but there's also case law, which is where we select things out in the court. And with the change in Colorado and Washington and a lot of other states are going, at least medical and things like that, it's changing the whole legal landscape for us, and it's opening some doors that we didn't used to have, and it's making us think outside the box and come up with some things that we didn't use before. So understand this: any victory that lessens the prohibitions on cannabis anywhere is a victory for us, and you need to recognize that. Whenever it happens, we need to support anybody that's trying to reduce restrictions on cannabis, but also understand that what happened in Colorado makes a difference in Texas. Believe it. Look at our last legislative session. All our bills before never made it out of committee. And right on the heels of Colorado, Texas is like, whoa, shit, we better start looking at this. So, it's a political atmosphere, it's a social atmosphere, it's a change, and it's just like the repeal of prohibition on alcohol. It's coming from the people up. It's not going to be from Big Pharma. It's not going to be from Wall Street. It's not going to be from the alcohol industry or the tobacco industry or anybody else that's got theirs. It's going to be from us saying, no, this is bullshit. That new photo we've got on our Facebook, have you seen that? It's amazing. It's got like a mad cigarette and a mad booze bottle and a mad pill bottle looking at a little cannabis plant. He's sitting there about half high. Go find it. It's beautiful. I mean, at any rate, we've got some interesting cases coming up. We've got one of our members right now is facing a life sentence following a shopping trip to Colorado. I mean, he basically went to Weeds R Us and brought up all kinds of gummy bears and goody treats and things. Coming back from vacation, and what he essentially bought in a convenience store in Colorado is now one they're wanting to send him to prison for life because he made the mistake of coming home. And with that, all I can say is, for those of you, and I can't sit up here and tell you guys how to break the law or anything like that, and that's not really what this is about either. It's about preserving and respecting your privacy. But right now, I mean, law enforcement between here and Colorado is just stopping everything that moves, and God help you if you're in a rental car. And they're holding you there for, you know, hours on end, waiting for dogs to arrive. If you're not stupid enough to tell them they can take a look, and just a lot of things that are going on that really are a huge erosion on our constitutional rights. For example, like this, hold you there for an hour waiting for a dog. The police can't make a traffic stop and extend the duration of that stop longer than what was required to take care of the business at hand. In other words, if you were stopped for speeding, they got time to write you the ticket, should run their customary checks. You know, now if they see something new, you roll your window down and they get a nose hit or something, that changes the whole landscape. But if they don't have anything, and they start extending the duration of this stop, that's illegal. But now don't stand there like an idiot and have it so that they can later say you just voluntarily stood there. I mean, you know, after you're standing there on the side of the road for a few minutes and they haven't told you anything, they haven't come back with a ticket, and you're like, damn, this is taking a long time. You know, at that point you need to start going, officer, all due respect, did you forget about me? I'm on hold here, you know. What's going on? You know, well, we got a dog on the way over here. Well, I thought you stopped me for speeding. You know, I don't want a dog. I got a dog. You know. Well, I think we, you know, can I search? No, you can't search. Well, then you must have something to hide. I got a dog on there. They can't do all that crap. They can't just run on a hunch. And, but you have to assert your rights. First of all, don't agree. And again, it's not to hide drugs. It's to preserve your privacy. But never consent to a search. I don't care if you've got anything in your car or not. Never consent to a search unless you just don't like living in America. I'm not, because I don't know what one of you fools left in my car. You know, I'm just not doing it. Secondly, ask to leave. If this thing is getting a little ridiculous, you know, and I don't mean be a dick about it. Don't jump out of the car screaming, I don't want to go, you know, use a little common sense, but assert your rights to leave. Assert your rights to your liberty to move about, go on about your day. And make them tell you you can't go. And again, don't escalate it, but make it work, you know, stick with it until they say that, because then you get a whole bunch of new rights in terms about having to read your Miranda and all that other stuff. But they're stretching it. They're stretching it to the limit out there.
I'm Elizabeth, and like Sean said, you know, I've been around NORML since the beginning. I'm a board member and also head up the NORML Women's Alliance effort, which is a cool kind of targeted outreach that NORML has put together starting a couple years ago, and it's just been growing and growing. He's right, we do have a lot of active NORML women here in Texas. We just had a NORML Women's Alliance family picnic, so DFW NORML Women's Alliance came out and brought our families and our kids. You know, a lot of us are parents. I'm a parent. My son is here tonight. So, you know, we're pretty family friendly anyway, but this was specifically an event to bring your kids. So a lot of people brought out their kids. We had fun. It was really nice. NORML's kind of a, you know, we're kind of a family anyway, so we would like you to be able to come to some events where you can bring all of yours. So thank you everyone who came out. We had a lot of people there, barbecued, and our kids played. It was really cool. So something else that we're doing is that, you know, you all remember last week the tragic weather, the tornado that killed a lot of people in Oklahoma. You know, a lot more people displaced, their houses destroyed. Really, really bad, tragic, sad deal. So we want to help. We want to donate some money to the American Red Cross. So we ask that you donate a little bit of money today. All the proceeds from this meeting are going to go to the American Red Cross for those disaster relief efforts. So go join, buy a t-shirt. If you just want to put a couple dollars, I mean, every little bit definitely counts. So you can go back there in the corner and visit our table back there and make a donation, and everything tonight is going to go to the American Red Cross on behalf of DFW NORML. So it would be great to contribute. It would be really nice if we could make a really big financial contribution. And we'll keep doing Women's Alliance stuff. You know, it's not just family events. We also have dinners, we had a happy hour, so just a chance for you to come out and meet other women in Normal. I think it's really cool when I can meet other Normal women. So check us out. We have a Facebook group. It's the DFW NORML Women's Alliance group, and I'd love to meet you all.
And now, at least in terms of a normal meeting, for something a little different, we have the Chronicles of JR.
How are you guys doing tonight? I just want to take a little time to tell you, don't be afraid at all. See, I came to this meeting last meeting, and it was wonderful. It changed my life. I woke up and I realized I was a mole living under a rock. I was scared. I was excited. I found out that I don't need a mask anymore. You guys are my mask. You're my strength. You're my power. You have allowed me to raise out of my own ashes. And have allowed me to speak to you guys tonight, which I'm very grateful for. We all fight a grave battle, and we must take arms. Our words are more powerful today than they ever will be. And we must take that and hold it deep. Because only you guys can change this. Only you can move this movement. And I just want to thank you for allowing me to speak to you guys. And I hope that you guys can come back and see a real gut splitter, because that's what I'm here for you guys. You guys have helped me more than anything, and I am forever indebted.
I'm here to tell you that marijuana is bad for you, so just give me all your marijuana so that way I can suffer for you. No, seriously. We know that this drug prohibition, or the marijuana prohibition, is affecting everybody. And most of all, I think it's affecting the people that need it for medical purposes. There's a lot of people that need it for the quality of life, not just for the recreational use, but for the quality of life. And we already have seen this happen, even in Colorado and Washington. They started off with the medical marijuana laws changing first, and that's what we're here to do first. We're going to fight the fight for the patients. We're going to get the laws changed for medical purposes first. It is highly supported for a lot of people in Texas, so we want to fight this fight, and what we need is more support here. We're going to be at the conference to educate people on the medical benefits of marijuana. We're going to have a raffle for a guitar. It's going to have a marijuana leaf that's professionally been painted on. I haven't seen it, but I heard it's a pretty nice one. So come by our booth, buy a raffle ticket, come by our Facebook page, like us, get involved, come to our meetings, and help us spread the word about medical marijuana so we can get that law changed first. Then we can get the legalization for everybody. But right now we want to help out the people that need it the most. Legalize it.
And I'm here to talk to you guys about cancer, cannabis, and a new movie that we're coming out with, as you mentioned, American Drug War Part 2. We did the premiere at 420 in Colorado, Denver, Colorado, during the 420 High Times Cannabis Cup, the first cannabis cup in a legalized state in the U.S. in over 70 years. It was accepted, everybody just absolutely loved it. This is honestly one of the best documentaries on the subject I've ever seen. We're bringing the show to 30 cities nationwide. We're expecting it to go out on video on demand, as well as Giante and a number of other carriers, Showtime. It will be out and probably touch over 300 million people around the globe. And let them know about this fight. Let them know that this is serious stuff. So, I've got a documentary clip. This is a little less released trailer of the movie that I'm going to try to show up here. So I hope you all can see it. And I want to invite everybody out. Thank you all for your support. We get so much great support here in Texas. So we want to do something and give something in return.
Cassie's mom, Callie, is a registered nurse, and although some say it's not necessary, she always insists that the oil be sterilized at a professional laboratory.
Daddy's got coffee.
Cassie looks really good today.
Mike shares one of the many regrettable situations that Cassie and many other children with cancer commonly endure.
They weren't even gonna try and remove his infected port till Sunday. I had to actually tell them that they were stupid. So every day they had to pull this patch off of his chest, and they had to pull the gauze stuck into the wound hole that was in him. Now that's fighting cancer with the American Cancer Society. That's fighting cancer with the pediatric oncology floors. This is the answer that all of our prosecutors, sheriffs, police officers, governors, this is what they say to be the best way for our kids right here. I say bullshit. That's torture, man.
Have you ever seen a person who had cancer and used marijuana to help them eat or to alleviate their condition of somebody suffering from terminal cancer?
No, I have not.
And if you had, and I have, and seen that it helps them with their appetite and makes them smile, would you agree that it has some benefit to society for somebody who's dying and that marijuana is the only thing that makes him eat and makes him smile? Is there not an efficacious situation there?
I think that's between him and his doctor.
Well, if it's between him and his doctor, why does the DEA take a position that medical marijuana is wrong, which you've taken? You've taken the position it's not between him and his doctor. You have a publication, which on page 6 of your publication in 2011 has the most insane and banal paragraph. The legalization movement is not simply a harmless academic exercise. The moral danger of thinking that marijuana is...
Gentleman's time has expired. The gentlewoman from California, Ms. Chu.
While we do this viewing, it's going to be June 6th, as I mentioned, in 30 other cities. After we do the Salt Lake viewing, Mike Hyde is going to be joining us here in Texas, Cassie's father, to attend the conference and do a special screening for conference goers, as well as to speak to the crowd. And if you ever have heard Mike speak at any of these events, you know he's a very dynamic, passionate person, and very, very intelligent about how he speaks and what he addresses. So if you get a chance, you get to the conference, make sure you come say hi to him. He's my personal idol. I love the kid. So if you get a chance, please come by and enjoy it.
All right, so I'm up here to tell you about the Fluke Talk, right? So in case you guys don't know what it is, I'm gonna step down here for a second. Let's see. Yeah. So what happens is the Red Bull is gonna build a 30-foot, what they call a flight deck, okay? Where you build a plane and you throw it off this flight deck into the lake, and it splashes and it's supposed to go all over the place, right? So we're actually going to enter this thing. We were dared by Red Bull of DFW to enter this thing. And so we wanted to go ahead and step up and do it. We're going to throw a 10-foot flaming joint. Into Lake Carolyn on September 21st. So I wanted to introduce you guys to the crew and the mechanics that are going to make this thing happen. So first up, I want to introduce the crew. So Kyle Waldo, Adam Hess, Irie, and Patrick Bassett, if you're here. I haven't seen you guys yet. Come on up here, guys. I want to show you guys off this place. And I also want to introduce you to our pilot and our co-pilot. He may not be here right now. Aaron is our co-pilot, but I want to introduce you to the pilot who's going to throw this thing into the lake, which is our deputy director, Will Jenkins. This is the crew right here. Myself and Dale Lewis, who is right here, and Tristan of UNT NORML. We're going to build this thing. We're going to make this thing awesome. It is going to be a complete replica of a joint, 10 foot long, and it's going to be on fire, and it's going to be like Carolyn. So I want to thank you guys, but we need sponsors to do this right, so please let Pete know if you guys want to sponsor us. Thank you guys. Thank you for coming out.
Oh gosh, it's great to sit around all you activists. And you know that's what you are. If you weren't here, you wouldn't be an activist. If you weren't here, you wouldn't be a THC activist. That's a Texas hemp and cannabis activist. By the way, that is the book I'm working on. It's called THC Activist. And it's got input from a lot of people. It's a take on different people's approaches in their activism and what they do in their medium whether it be medicine like Dr. Melamede, or in music like Slightly Stupid, or in me like I took on politics. But anyway, if you have a voice, use it. If you have the ability to communicate effectively without going, huh, use it. If you can contact a representative by going, hello, and all of my representatives are on my phone on speed dial, I don't let them off the hook for crap, man. If you let them off the hook, they figure they can get off of every hook, just like that bass that threw a thing right back into the boat the other day on me. Well, that was a dream. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't stay on their ass, who is? They don't expect you. That's the good part. When only 2.5% of the voting population of Texas turns out to vote, and somebody makes it in, and they go, man, I got 80% of the vote, man. At 2.5% of the vote, they got about 2% of the total voting population of Texas that actually turned out to vote. That is the problem, folks. I heard this so many times. I don't vote. Why? It's a waste of time. Guess what? You don't vote, the same bastards get back into office. Now, I'm going to be frank with you. I talk like Alan St. Pierre does. I call motherfuckers motherfuckers. And those are a bunch of dumb motherfuckers. And I call them like I see them. I was talking to, well, they hung up on me, but I was calling my representative the other day and asking him if he would stop making inappropriate jokes while he's in committee. A little decorum and a little professionalism is what I expect from a public servant. But when they make jokes, and I am just like, unfortunately, I have lost 2 sons just like Mike did. I lost 2 sons to brain tumors just like Cassie. I don't want to bury another child because of ignorance. I don't want to bury another friend, in which I've done too many lately, because of ignorance. They're educated, but they just don't get it, and I don't understand why. We fill them up with as much education as they could possibly handle, and then they do what? They put it in the round file because they don't have time for it. I give them an F as an educator. As a former educator, I'd give them an F. Over 4,000 bills were introduced into the Texas legislature this last legislative session. A little over 2,000 of them made it out. That's less than 60%. That's a failing grade. And if we keep putting failures back into office, we're going to keep getting failing grades from Austin. We have to go out there, we have to register to vote, we have to let the candidates vote. If you don't go for us, we're against you, by the way. They don't like to hear that. The last thing they want to do is lose a vote. But I've already let mine know that I'm going to do everything I possibly can to make sure he doesn't get back into office again. Even if I go against my doctor's rules and run against him again. Like I said, if you run against them, and you can, all it takes is a piece of paperwork, and you sign up, you get so many, it's real easy, folks. You don't have to be a Republican, you don't have to be a Democrat, you don't have to be a Libertarian, you can be an independent, you can file with the Secretary of State, and you can run for public office in your district under the independent party ticket. And then guess what? All you got to do is collect 500 signatures and your name is on the ballot. That's all it takes. A little education, a little willpower, and we're going to turn Texas, and we're going to do just like we're going to do on the 7th through the 9th. We're going to grab prohibition by the horns here in Texas, and we're going to make it work. We're not going to be number 50. Nah, we're not going to be number 49 either, damn it. I will not settle for anything less than the next legislative session that we show them the power of the people of Texas. Thank you very much for your time and coming out. Thank you for being part of the change.